All right, welcome everybody. Let everybody get audio going. Please make sure you're muted, guys, just so that it's not kicking sound back at us. All right.
My thing froze, so I'm gonna log back out and go back in.
That's fine, Peyton. Okay. Got a couple more coming in. We'll get started here in a second. So we've got some people who are already signed up for Project Mindset. We've got a couple people who are just checking it out today, coming to see what we're doing. So it's going to be, for those of you who are on our first call a couple weeks ago, there's going to be some stuff that we're going to review and talk about again as far as what Project Mindset is, why it's important. And then for those of you who are signed up, we're going to talk a little bit more about things like when the class, everything's going to officially start, what, the different stuff in the app is going to look like. We'll kind of walk you through that a little bit. And then we'll also walk through what the different assignments that we're going to do are going to, how to access. We may not get to everything today, but for things we don't get to, and that's really good. Like if you guys have a question and we don't answer it, you can put it in the chat. If we don't have the answer today, we'll find the answer and we'll make sure to send it out to you guys. So don't be afraid to ask questions. We will get to those as we go, or we will get those answers out to you. All right, cool. Just as like a little virtual show of hands, if you guys go down to your reactions button on Zoom, how many of you are already signed up for the course? Good, got a couple thumbs up, got a couple of hands. Awesome. Well, very cool. Okay, you guys can put your thumbs down or your hands down. So for those of you who weren't on our first call and have no idea who I am, I'm Coach Lindsey. Super excited to be on with all of you guys. We're going to have a ton of fun in this course. It's going to be just a really great opportunity for you to work on something that's really, I always tell people when I was playing, and I was playing in college and then ultimately was able to make it onto the Olympic team, the biggest thing that changed for me was my mental game. So it's something that's very important to me. It's something that I think really took me to the next level. I think it's something that separates the good from the great. So it's something that I'm really passionate about. But I'll let Coach Lauren introduce herself again for those of you who haven't met her either. Oh, Coach, I got to unmute you. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
No worries. I will sign it for everybody. So I'm Coach Lauren. For those of you who don't know anything about me, I'm a high performance coach. So this is the kind of work that I do for a living, and I love getting to work with young athletes like all of you. I played my college hockey at the University of Wisconsin and played a couple years professionally. And just like Lindsey said, like when I was able to notice the biggest changes in my game, it was because my mental game changed, not because I got into the gym more or because I skated harder or practiced more often. It was because I got my mental game right. So I'm excited to share some of the stuff that I learned throughout my playing career with you guys a lot earlier than I was fortunate enough to learn it. So I'm really excited to get into all this with you.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to go through some of the logistical things. So just kind of like how the class is going to run. And then for those of you who are signed up, we'll get into some of the really hyper-focused details to kind of give you a look at how everything's going to work. But basically what this is it's going to be a 10-week class. That sounds like a really long time, but it's really not going to be that overwhelming, we promise. So basically what's going to happen is each week you guys are going to be learning a new mental skill. Okay. And the way that that's going to work is you're going to have videos that are less than, easily less than 10 minutes long. In some cases, they're going to be less than 5 minutes long that you're going to be able to check out on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So Thursday's kind of more of like an intro. Hey, this is the topic we're learning about. What do you know about it? What do you want to learn about it? Those types of things. On Fridays and Saturdays, that's when we're going to really dig into the meat of what it is that we're learning about. With that, there's going to be their assignments that are going to go with it. Now, I know you guys are like, wait, but coaches, it's summertime. I don't want to be doing homework. This is the type of stuff that you can take with you forever. You can print it out, you can use it, you can keep it. You'll be able to change it throughout time. So maybe what your goals are today aren't going to be your goals forever. So you're going to have just these tools. They're really less homeworks and more like tools that you're going to be able to use forever. And some of these are things that I still do every single month or year or whatever it is. So these are things that we actually use ourselves in our day-to-day lives, and you guys are going to have access to that. Once we get through the actual learning, the different material that you're going to learn each week, you're going to have a couple days to work on that. So Sunday and Monday are really, that's an opportunity for you to ask questions. It's an opportunity for you to take some time to work through the different worksheets and activities we're going to give you. And then Tuesday nights, so what we're doing right now, Tuesday nights is when we're all going to meet together and we're actually going to talk about what you guys learned that week. Okay, this is going to be a really cool, fun opportunity for us to share stories with each other. Hey, Maya, how'd you use mindset this week? Right? Maya, I like your headphones. Those look good. Okay. Or Olivia, right? What were you doing this week to improve your focus? So it's going to be just a real good opportunity for us to get to learn from each other and talk through these concepts and answer any questions. So that's also helpful for us. So as we're going through the different content each week, let's say Sophia is like, Coach, I watched all the videos. I tried to do the worksheets. I have no idea what you're talking about. That's totally okay. That's what those Tuesday nights are for you guys to come and have those conversations with us, and we can really break things down. It may take us 25 minutes. It may take us an hour, however long it takes during those live lessons for everyone to be feeling good and feeling like they've learned something that they can apply in their day-to-day. That's what we're here for. We want to get you better. Okay. Coach Lauren, did you have anything to add to that kind of high level?
Yeah, I think to hit on the first part that Lindsey said, where like, this really isn't homework, guys. This is stuff that Lindsey said she does it on, a weekly, yearly, monthly basis. This is stuff that I use every single day of my life, just like Lindsey does. This isn't skills that just help you in hockey. They also help you in life. And the cool part about it is it's not, busy homework that your teachers have been giving you lately. It's learning a lot about yourself and figuring out what really works for you as a person and as a hockey player. So like figuring out even what motivates you the best. What do you have to focus on to feel like in the zone in the game and play your best? So it's interesting stuff. And I know that you guys are all going to be excited to get doing the work. And later on, I'll go over some of the content. But before we get into that, Lindsey, I know you've got more.
Yeah. Well, let's go before we dive into like how we're going to use the app, how we're going to use Google Classroom, which is where we're going to have those different activities. Does anybody have any questions? Hey, you've got a badger on here.
I know.
Do you see that? Nice. Yeah. Or a future badger, I should say. Anybody have any questions? Raise your hand or your like virtual thumb thing if you're excited. If this is something that you're like looking forward to digging into. Awesome. Good. Love it. Ian's got his dog with the little party symbol. Love that. All right, cool. Well, good. that's always encouraging. And we're always going to ask you guys to engage with us because we've got 4 people showing their faces on camera right now. So it's really hard in these virtual settings for us to know kind of where you guys are at, what you're thinking, if you're paying attention, all those things. So we're always going to be kind of checking in with you guys, asking you to give us some responses, give us some feedback so that we can just better coach you and everybody is going to be a little bit better for it. So if you've already signed up, you should have gotten instructions on how to access the app. Now, we will tell you, the app right now is we're having some technical difficulties that we're working out right now. So if your app shows like a picture of like a guy at the gym, that's not the picture that's supposed to be up there. So we're working through that. I'll show you guys what it's supposed to look like, and that'll give you a little bit better idea of how it's going to look moving forward. So if you have any trouble with that app, you can certainly let us know and we'll have our tech crew fix that for you. But if you're seeing, like I said, if you're seeing a picture of a guy and you're just like, this doesn't really look right, we're working on it, don't worry. So I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. And you can always access your app from the computer, or you can access it from your phone, either way. So hopefully everybody can see my screen. Okay, so this isn't a full week built out, but this is just so you guys can get kind of an idea of how it's gonna look. So day 1, when we think of a week, right, we normally think of day 1 as like a Monday. For us, day 1 is always gonna be Wednesday. So each week that we work through is gonna go Wednesday, and then we'll go through the week, and then we'll end on Tuesday with our live lesson for that week. Okay, so don't get confused when you see day 1 and thinking that's Monday. Day 1 is always going to be Wednesday for that week, or the first day in this calendar. Okay, so what you're going to see sometimes, so if day 1 is Tuesday, that's today. Day 2 is going to be Wednesday. We're going to put some different content in here. Wednesdays will be pretty light. That's kind of an opportunity for you to see. We've got a quote in here. There's going to be a little bit of, some different information about the things that we're learning. And then, like we said, the weeks really kick off with content on Wednesdays. Okay. So if we go to day 3, what you would see in your app is you're going to see a video of Coach Lauren. Okay. You'll be able to click on that video and it's going to pop up. All right. You'll hit play. I don't think you guys are going to be able to hear this, but you're going to see Coach Lauren just looking awesome. All right. So she's on there and she's walking you guys through what is project mindset. Okay. So she's going to take you through that initial introduction of the topic that we're learning for that week. Okay. You should also have access to Google Classroom. Okay. And I believe if you guys got, how many of you, if you can raise your hands for me, how many of you guys got a little notification about a homework assignment today? Anybody? Okay. So I see the hands going up. All right. So that is just a demo of what it's going to look like when you get a notification. You guys don't have to do that today. Don't stress about that. That's just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. You'll always be able to use your app to take you to your Google Classroom. So we'll have this link in here every single day. So you don't have to like bounce back and forth. You can just click it in the app. It'll automatically take you to your Google Classroom, which is where we're going to be doing our worksheets. So the one you guys got sent today is this visualizing your 10 out of 10. Like I said, this is going to be something that we do later in the course, but just as an example, so you can see it. So when we have our homework, or we're not calling it homework, our worksheets, when we have our worksheets, okay, you'll have some instructions in here telling you what you're supposed to do. Then you can just click on your worksheet and it'll take you to your own custom, Google sheet where you're able to kind of work through your homework and go through all the different things that it's telling you to do. So that's an example of what one looks like. This is an example of what another one looks like. So it's really kind of a blank slate where you are the one filling in the information that you feel that is I'm trying to find my words here, but we're not gonna like do fill in the blanks, you guys. It's not like sitting in history class. You guys are building this out for you. Okay, you're not building this out for us. We're not grading this. You guys are really building all of this that you fill out and you do in these worksheets for you. Okay, Coach Lauren, did you have anything you wanted to add on the worksheets?
Yeah, just to go off that last point, right? This is all for you. We left these worksheets intentionally very blank, right? Maybe we gave you a couple examples on certain worksheets just to kind of kickstart your thought process. But that's the best part about this course, is that you're able to tailor all of this work to what your current situation is. So maybe you're struggling a little bit with confidence. Carson, maybe you're struggling with confidence, but maybe Grayson's great on confidence, but he's struggling with motivation. That's totally fine. All of this is going to be able to fit all of you in terms of what you're really needing to work on the most.
Totally. And that's something important too for you guys to remember, is that it's no different than hockey practice, right? Think about this like a hockey practice. Some of you guys are really good at shooting. Some of you guys are really good at skating. Some of you guys need to work on some different things. So that's kind of how this is. There are going to be some days, especially for you guys that are maybe a little bit older, there are going to be some days where you're like, man, I've done this before with a coach, or I've worked through this in the past. That's totally fine. Okay. This is stuff, like I said, I literally had to go through this can and cannot control exercise that you guys are seeing on the screen right now. I had to go through that today. So it's always stuff that can be used no matter if you're 8 years old or if you're 80 years old. Okay. And that's kind of how we decided to write up all of this content. So that's how we're going to use Google Classroom. It's really straightforward in that way. Like I said, we're going to change the due date for this. So you guys will get the email telling you when a homework is available, and you guys can just click in from there, or you can actually log in to the Google Classroom and go find your information. So you've got different ways to get there. If you ever run into trouble, you can always reach out and we'll help support you in that way, help you find your assignments. We're gonna put due dates on these, but at the end of the day, you guys, this is in your control. So if you choose to do your assignments, awesome. If you don't, then that's on you. That's your decision. We do have a cool certificate and like a little gift at the end for everybody who finishes all of their assignments. So there is a little bit of a motivation factor in there for making sure that you get all your stuff done. If you don't get all your stuff done throughout the course, again, that's totally fine. We want to have you. We want you to be on here. But we do want you guys to actually be engaging. We don't want you to just like show up and never come to any of the classes or never watch any of the videos, right? We want you guys to be engaged and we want you to learn from this. We will occasionally put, so if you go to the stream, that's kind of the main page of your Google Classroom. You'll be able to see different homeworks pop up here. I'll be able to we'll both be able to kind of say stuff to you guys. So we could put something in here like welcome everybody. And you guys would be able to see that come through. So we'll occasionally put some announcements in here. And that's going to kind of be like the main place where we communicate with you guys. It's going to be the fastest place that we communicate with you guys. So we'll always be in contact in that way. How many of you guys, show of virtual hands, how many of you guys have used Google Classroom before? Okay. All right, a decent amount. Awesome. So you guys are going to be like the old pros. Look at that. Carson's already commenting on here. I love it. I love it. One ground rule, you guys. If you say anything disrespectful, if you say anything inappropriate, if you do anything like that in the Google Classroom, okay, you won't be allowed in class anymore. All right, so big ground rule is whether it's in Google Classroom, whether it's in our live lessons, we want you to be respectful of each other. We want you to certainly be respectful of us. So let's make sure that we're keeping everything nice and clean and we're all getting better together. Anything else, Coach Lauren, on Google Classroom?
Just to add that the more that you interact, the more that you do this stuff, the better you get, and the more gains and growth you'll see in your play as a hockey player. And just like Lindsey said, it's the same as practice. We all have different things that we have to work on, but you can't show up to games on the weekend if you've missed practices for the past 5 weeks and expect to be any better. So yes, the assignments on here are optional, so to speak, but if you're not doing the work and you're not really paying attention to what we're talking about in class, then ultimately you're not going to see a lot of growth.
Yep. And I will say too, if, like I said, we're going to put due dates in there for the different assignments, but we get it. It's summer. You're traveling with your family. You're doing different things, which we love. So if you don't, it's more to keep you guys on track. So if you don't get something done exactly by the due date, I don't want you to panic and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting my certificate and my gift at the end. Don't freak out about that. Just get it done when you can. And if you have any questions or you get lost, we're here to support you in that. So that's pretty much how it's going to work. It's going to be pretty straightforward. You're going to have those daily pieces of content in your app that you can watch. You're going to have your Google Classroom to do the different worksheets that we have for you to get better. And then we're going to have our weekly Zoom classes, and those Zoom links will be in the app for you as well to be able to just click in there and then jump on with us. Maya, are you signed up for class already? You are signed up? Okay. I think we'll figure out, we'll make sure to get that class code out to you, Maya. I'm not going to put it in the chat right now, but we'll make sure to get it to you at some point. Good question.
Lindsey, I had somebody message me. They did not see a sign up link. So Josh, maybe could we send out the sign up link to everybody? There we go.
There you go. Check it out in the chat. Okay, you've signed up, but you haven't seen anything yet in your email. All right. Josh, is there a good email that they can reach out to if they're having trouble getting the information? Oh, sorry, gonna unmute you.
Hey, yeah, if you just recently signed up, I'll shoot you over the info with Google Class and the SugarWatt info. And then also, if you have any questions about like sign up or the class in general after this, you can feel free to reach out. My email is, I'm gonna put it in right here. It's just joshua@projecthockey.com.
Perfect.
Yeah, so if you recently signed up, I'll shoot that over to you right after, and you should be able to have access to the Google Classroom as well.
Awesome. And just so you guys know, when we say SugarWatt, that's the app that we use. So if you're not familiar with that term, that's what that means. Just so you're not like, what the heck is a SugarWatt?
So Lindsey, just to sum up for everybody, every week they'll be able to see in the app the videos that we post. They'll be able to get the live Zoom link, and they'll get the link to go to the Google Classroom where all of the assignments will be.
Correct.
Perfect. All right.
Yep. And don't feel like, again, we're going to put stuff in there each day. We're going to probably put it in, like, what we don't want to have you guys do is work 8 weeks ahead. I'm sure there are some of you who are like absolute super students and love to be able to work ahead. We're going to try to put the content in as we go so that everybody's kind of staying on track. But if you are someone who, like I said, maybe you go on a 2-day vacation with your family and you're not able to watch the videos, you can always go back in the app and watch them later. That's not a big deal at all. The biggest thing is try to watch the videos before our Tuesday night classes. That's going to be probably the most important thing, just so you don't get on class and you're like, what the heck is everybody talking about? We want to make sure that you guys at least are kind of familiar with the different things that we're working on. I think from a scheduling standpoint, It's also super important if you guys have a calendar with your family or wherever you guys keep track of your time, or where your parents help you keep track of your time. The biggest thing is going to be making sure that you are able to be on those Tuesday nights. If you're not able to make one of them, that's totally fine. We'll have them recorded. It's just obviously a lot better if you're able to make them live so that you can ask questions, interact, learn from each other, share some of your stories. I'm sure some of you guys have some awesome stories to share about how you used your mental skills that week. So it's going to be, if you're, and this is all out there, but if you're in Pacific time zone like me, so you're out on the West Coast, it's going to be 4 p.m. If you're in Mountain, 5 p.m. If you're in Central, it's going to be 6 p.m. And then if you're Eastern, it's going to be 7. So it's going to be a little later for you East Coast kids, but that's okay. It's not too late. I don't know if anybody on here goes to bed before like 7:45. So I think we should be good. All right. Any other questions? Peyton, what do you mean by do we actually take pictures and turn them in? I can unmute you if you want to ask me. Give me one sec. All right, Peyton, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, like when
Uh-oh. We can't hear you, Peyton. Can you type it to me? All right. While Peyton's typing her question, does anybody else have any questions? Carson, I'm just waiting for you to use that super cool like podcasting mic. I love that.
He's like, no, not today.
Good question, Molly. So she said she just jumped on. What age range is this best for? So we are writing it so that it can be accessible for really any kid. I would say probably like 10 and older is ideal. It might be a little much for kids like 6 through 9 to process. But yeah, I think that like preteen, teenager is going to be the sweet spot. But I've also had 9-year-olds that I've worked with who have done awesome. So Lauren, I don't know if you wanted to add.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate. If you're on the younger side, it just takes a little bit more concentration and willingness to ask questions as well, right? It's okay to ask questions if you don't understand anything. Lindsey and I can sometimes forget that we speak this psychobabble language all the time. So if you have any questions at all about any of the homeworks, let us know.
Good question. All right. Any other questions?
So I got one from Mike. Do they have to download the SugarWOD app, or will they get an email with a link to the app? That might be a Josh question.
You can do either or. You can download the app just by going on either sugarwad.com or just looking up SugarWOD in the App Store, whether you have an iPhone or an Android. But you'll also get a link after you sign up with an email with information on just like actually how to download the app and how to find the website as well. So I guess the answer to that's kind of both. So.
All good questions. And like I said, if you did hop on late, the app is having a little bit of some technical difficulties right now that we're working through with SugarWOD. That'll be all figured out by next week. So the other thing, if you did come on late, we are going to start week 1 will officially start next Tuesday. So like we said, we're starting each week kind of starts on Wednesdays. but this is sort of a hybrid kickoff call / informational call for people who aren't signed up. So we will officially get going with just the people who are signed up for class next Tuesday, and then we'll hit the ground running. Wednesday will be the first official day of week 1. So, and then we'll go 10 weeks and have lots of fun. That's the other thing too, guys. I haven't seen a lot of smiles yet, but we're gonna have a lot of fun with this, I promise. I think we're pretty fun, Coach. What do you think?
I mean, I like to think so. I like to think I got some jokes. Maybe I'll crack some jokes every now and then.
There you go. There you go. Maybe that's what we'll throw that in the Google Classroom stream.
Oh yeah.
Just a little daily joke.
Daily joke. I like it. I'm into it.
All right, cool. All right, last call for questions. Otherwise, we'll let you guys get back to your Tuesday night, like we told you earlier. Once we do get going, we may go 25 minutes for our live lessons. We may go an hour. We won't go past an hour because we want to be respectful of everybody's time. But it won't be. We're not gonna force you into conversation. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, then we'll let you guys go. Keep checking your email for more information coming out about the class. Like I said, the email you got for the homework assignment, you do not have to do that now. We actually don't want you to do that now because it goes with a later lesson. That was just kind of a demo of what it's going to look like when those homeworks come through. And then for those of you who are signed up, we'll get that Zoom link information sent out for next Tuesday. We'll get it all loaded up in the app and we will see you guys then.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.